More than music, him and BTS channels, heart and treasure to those in need. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss any news about your favorite idol, Jimin. Beneath the glittering stage lights, beyond the deafening roar of thousands of fans chanting his name, lies a story about Park Jimin, known to the world simply as Jimin of BTS, that is rarely told. It's a story that doesn't appear on music charts, doesn't trend because of a press release, and isn't announced with a spotlight. It's the story of a hand that gives, a heart that cares, and footsteps that move quietly, yet echo far beyond the stage, to the public eye. Jimin is a world-class performer, a dancer with unmatched grace, a vocalist whose voice can melt into your soul, a fashion icon with effortless allure. But to those who have felt the warmth of his help, Jimin is something far more humble, a boy from Bisan, who never forgot where he came from, and a young man who chooses to help without asking for applause. The first traces of this quiet kindness began years ago, in the very school where he once sat on worn wooden benches, staring at a chalk-covered blackboard. Hodong Elementary School in Bisan. When the school was set to close, Jimin quietly paid for the summer and winter uniforms for its final graduating class. He even added a gift, signed CDs for every student. To those children, the gift wasn't just fabric or a disc, it was a message. You matter. Your future matters. From there, the story grew. In April 2023, while many celebrities were chasing tour and projects, Jimin turned his attention to the children of Bisan. He donated 100 million to the Bisan Metropolitan City Office of Education. Most of it went to help students from low-income families, covering school needs, while part of it was given to his alma mater, Bisan Arts High School. There was no press conference, no photographers waiting outside the education office. It was done quietly, as if he was simply returning something that had always belonged to the children. Months later, in February 2025, Jimin's kindness surfaced again. This time, it arrived in the form of brand new desks and chairs for all 1,200 students at Bisan High School of Arts. There was no announcement, no photo op. The furniture simply appeared in classrooms smelling of fresh wood, carrying the promise of a more comfortable place to learn. July 2025 brought another chapter. Jimin donated 100 million to the Genome Future Education Foundation in South Jeolla Province, funding scholarships for outstanding students from underprivileged families. For those recipients, it wasn't just financial relief, it was a recognition that their hard work mattered, that someone believed in their dreams. But Jimin's compassion was never confined to education alone. In July 2021, the world learned that he had quietly given 100 million to the Rotary Club for polio, vaccination programs and support for patients battling the disease. This was revealed only when the Rotary Club publicly expressed its gratitude for those benefiting. The donation was more than just a figure, it was a chance at a healthier, longer life. His generosity reached Gangwon Province, where he donated to the local education office to support children from low-income families. These were places far from the headlines, yet Jimin ensured they were not far from hope. When a devastating earthquake struck Turkey and Syria in February 2023, Jimin extended his help once again. Through UNICEF Korea, he provided aid for children who had lost their homes, their families, and their sense of safety. In the quietest of ways, he became part of a global wave of relief that saved lives and offered shelter. The following month, in March 2023, he funded a children's reading program in North Chungcheong Province. His donation brought new books, improved facilities, and literacy activities designed to foster a love of reading from an early age. Jimin had joined the Hometown Love donation system, a government initiative allowing citizens to donate to their hometowns. He contributed the maximum allowed, and even returned the thank you gift he received, redirecting it to those in need in Nam District, Bisan. That December, his compassion touched the elderly through the Bisan Habitat Challenge, a program that repairs homes and facilities for senior citizens living alone. His support meant safer, warmer homes for those who had once built the very city he came from. Even after enlisting for mandatory military service, Jimin's giving spirit did not pause. In 2024, he donated 100 million to the Dedication to the Nation Love for Comrades Fund. Through the Chungnam Community Chest, this fund supports active soldiers, veterans, and their families, covering living expenses, medical needs, and scholarships for their children. His contribution earned him a place in the Honor Society, a group of major donors recognized for their commitment to philanthropy. And still, the giving continued. Between 2024 and 2025, Jimin contributed further to various educational foundations in Gyeongnam and other regions, with total donations in that period estimated at around 200 million. When pieced together, these acts paint a portrait of someone who doesn't see charity as a one-time gesture, but as a way of life. For Jimin, giving isn't a campaign, it's an instinct. He allows the recipients to feel warmth without the weight of obligation, and he allows the world to discover his kindness only through the traces it leaves behind. Every school desk, every uniform, every scholarship, every book, every repaired roof, every vaccination, every safe haven for a child after disaster, they all carry Jimin's name, not etched in stone, but engraved in the hearts of those who have felt his touch. The roar of the crowd is deafening. Thousands of light sticks sway like a galaxy trapped inside an arena, and all eyes are fixed on him. Park Jimin, BTS's golden voice and graceful dancer. He moves with the kind of elegance that can only be born from years of discipline, every step a fusion of art and emotion. His smile lights up entire stadiums. To the world, this is the Jimin they know, a performer, a star, an icon. But beyond the confetti, the stage lights, and the thunderous applause, there is another Jimin. A Jimin who walks into an office in Busan without a camera following him. A Jimin who quietly fills out a donation form, signing his name without fanfare. A Jimin who leaves as quietly as he came, his only request being, please use it where it's most needed. It is this Jimin, the quiet giver, whose story rarely makes headlines. Busan's Hodong Elementary School was no stranger to Jimin's laughter as a child. It was here that he chased his friends across the schoolyard, where the smell of chalk dust clung to his uniform, where he first learned the value of community. Years later, when he heard that the school was closing, most people expected him to feel a pang of nostalgia and move on. Instead, he acted. In 2025, Jimin quietly paid for the summer and winter uniforms of the school's final graduating class. It wasn't just about clothing, it was about dignity. For children from low-income families, wearing a clean, new uniform like their peers can mean the difference between confidence and quiet shame. On the day the uniforms were handed out, teachers recall the sparkle in the children's eyes. They didn't know the famous alumnus had paid for them. They only knew that someone cared. And then came the extra surprise, signed BTS CDs for every student. For those children, it was a piece of magic. Proof that someone from their very own hallways had reached the stars and still remembered their names. A teacher from Hodong later said in an interview, he didn't just donate, he left a piece of himself here. Jimin returned to his roots in another way. He donated 100 million, around $88,000, to the Busan Metropolitan City Office of Education. Most of the funds went to help students from financially struggling families. A portion was given directly to Busan Arts High School, his alma mater, the very place where he once trained long hours, chasing a dream no one could yet see. When news of the donation broke, it wasn't through Jimin's team. It came from the education office, which felt it was important for the public to know how much an artist could care for his hometown's youth. Even then, Jimin remained quiet, declining interviews or photo opportunities. One former classmate commented online, "That's just Jimin. He's the type to show up at a reunion and ask how everyone's doing before he talks about himself." In the middle of a bitterly cold Korean winter, while students at Busan High School of Arts were on break, delivery trucks began to arrive. Inside were desks and chairs, minus 1,200 sets in total. Each classroom was soon filled with the fresh scent of polished wood and metal. The students had no idea who was responsible, until a quiet confirmation came from the school. It was Jimin.